What's the real difference between a donkey and a horse? Because some people think that they are the same animal, but they're not. Because there can be wild horses and wild donkeys, and they may look different from their domesticated cousins. Donkeys have long, floppy ears that kind of hang down, while a horse has small, pointy ears that stick straight up. It's really cute when they're little, but they grow up to be pretty intimidating. And to be fair, this is the primary way that most people distinguish between the two. A horse's tail has a long single switch at the end, while a donkey's tail has multiple switches, kind of like a bottle brush. You can't have a barnyard without the sound of a donkey braying in the morning. It's just the kind of thing that makes you want to get up and start your day. Their tails also carry different sorts of information. You know any other differences between these two animals? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode of the most fun science show on the internet. A horse swishes its tail from side to side to communicate that it's annoyed or bothered by something, while a donkey will raise its tail straight up when it's annoyed. Well, if you pause at the right frames, you might be able to figure out what it is. They have a course called Introduction to Genetic Engineering, which covers topics such as gene expression, gene cloning, and genetic engineering tools. Ow! All of their courses are taught by experienced professors at top universities and are designed to be interactive and engaging. Secret messages aside, whether you love horses or donkeys or both, there are all kinds of fun ways to learn about these magnificent animals. However, there are some other major differences between these two animals. But today we're talking about the ones that live on farms and are used for riding. However, donkeys are always pretty much the same size. Also, when horses are born, they can walk within an hour after being born, whereas donkeys can take several hours before they can walk. And donkeys mature more slowly than horses. They aren't considered adults until they are 5 or 6 years old, whereas horses are considered adults at 2 or 3 years old. Donkeys also tend to live longer than horses, a lifespan of 30 to 50 years compared to a horse's 25 to 35 years. They tend to stand about 4 feet tall at the shoulder and weigh around 350 pounds. This is because donkeys have a pretty uniform genome. In other words, they don't have many different genes that code for different traits like horses do, so they come in one standard package. So in today's big question, we're going to take a deep dive into the differences between these two animals. Now, it's important to state here that we are talking about the domesticated varieties of these animals. The most obvious difference between a donkey and a horse is their ears. Horses come in all different shapes and sizes, from the tiny Shetland pony to the gigantic Shire horse. And speaking of packages, donkeys typically only have one baby at a time, whereas horses can have 2 or 3 foals per pregnancy. Another major difference between donkeys and horses is their tails. Finally, perhaps the biggest difference between horses and donkeys is their vocalizations. Horses typically whinny, while donkeys bray. So now you know the main differences between horses and donkeys. Speaking of fun science shows, did you know that there's a secret message in this video? If you'd like to learn more about genetics, check out the link in the description below. Thank you for watching and learning with us.